There's nothing that is impossible. So I just shared the meeting link on Twitter.
I even forgot to share it on Twitter for some reason. I only shared it on my WhatsApp status for some ugly reason.
Eh, You know, one day your Twitter followers can't hear you, Abby.
Nah, it's not even that one. For some, you know what? Let me just do it now. I don't know how I forgot, like how I totally forgot about it. I've not been on Twitter active.
Yeah,
It's been
I
a
don't
while.
notice. You don't you if let's say work one key.
See, it's just from one timeline to another timeline. They're trying to make life better. Just from one timeline to another timeline. It's something else. And I'm going to use my hand to do the timeline. That's the annoying part.
Eh, omo, you dey put deadline where you yourself you no fit meet. Okay.
I'm putting deadline on my own birthday. What kind of man be am I?
On your own birthday.
I'm telling you, I put deadline.
But you know say if you put deadline on your birthday, it means say you go finish wetin you do before or wetin you dey do before your birthday because on your birthday you no go fit complete work.
Says you.
Except say you go shut the whole world out.
That was a day. So I was putting out the deadline. I was like, oh, like I said, I was keep this deal. You should just forget. Well, I think I ended up putting it on it because I initially said I was going to anything I'm going to do, I was going to do on the birthday. I'll shift it to Friday so that we can do it Friday, Saturday. Because that Wednesday is brutal.
When
Like
is your
Captain Cole
birthday?
said, February 2.
Fe- With February 2 here.
Yeah, that one is coming. This one is it.
Oh, that's on Wednesday. Next week Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday. It's always it's falls it manages to fall on the weirdest time. Sundays, Wednesdays, freaking fall on Sunday. I mean on Saturday, please. Like fall on Saturday.
Well, if it's a work day, it means say you no get birthday New Year. Except except say they go give you
Funny thing is, I
they
was
go
born on
give
a
you
Sunday now.
eh, they fit give you leave for office. Say may you just take that leave. May you no work
Ah,
that day.
when weekend day, Wednesday, look must weekend. Man, it's very very short.
All right.
It's when it's on Sunday that is a problem to me because on Sunday, what do you want me to do on Sunday? Exactly what am I
You go
supposed to do on Sunday?
you go to church and come back.
Exactly. Apart from that, what else? That's just it.
No.
It's a waste, and you can't even say, okay, let me push it to the next weekend because that's 7 days off. I mean, you might as well be get ready to celebrate Valentine. Seven days
Yeah.
after that, that's nice. I mean, just get ready to celebrate some Valentine and be done with.
So Alamu is 10:05, and we have some people on the call already. I think we can start. So good morning, everyone. My name is Toluwase Olubemiro, and you're welcome to another episode of Random Conversation. Oh God, I'm still trying to get that thing so that you know this is recorded. You just see it on YouTube. Good morning, everyone. It's another episode of Random Conversation. I'm your host Olubemiro Toluwase. Today we have on the call Alamu Temitayo, a visual designer, a man that has explored and has known everything there is to know about working with systems that are not his own. And since he's a designer, he needs to steal things from Encanto, from Free Peak, from Undraw, and from every other place that you can steal things. So, who else? Or who better to tell us how to adopt working systems than a designer that uses all his life to steal and adopt working system? Please, on the call, please, you can just use your emoji and celebrate Alamu Temitayo. All right.
Well,
So just give,
that's an
just
introduction.
introduce
I cannot
yourself.
do better. I cannot do better.
All right. No, it's not it was not planned. It just is in the spur of the moment. But that's like the backbone of this the random conversation. So everyone, you're welcome. Kate, Sylvia, Ulumi, and every other person that is on the call. Um, I know if you see people with the sorry, Shekina, could you change the settings from Q&A to a normal settings? All right, that's my technical tip so that I can focus on today's
Yeah,
conversation.
if you have a full blown team on this,
Guy, it's what can a man do? You just have to do what you have to do. All right, guys. Like I said, we have Alamu on today's call, and you're all welcome. So today's conversation is recorded as usual. You get the recording on YouTube eventually. Eventually. So Alamu, tell us a bit about yourself. A backstory. Who is Alamu Temitayo? From where he came down to where he is now. If you tell us about how much you earn, so well, that would be a good starter, so that we would have hope about the things that we want to
any
do with our
exposure,
life.
bro,
All right. So
any
who is
exposure.
Alamu Temitayo?
All right. Uh, Number one, it's going to be weird talking in third person. So I'm just going to switch it to my first person kind of person, me. So I mean, it will be weird if I say Alamu is. So um, I'm Timothy Alamu, you know, and the way I pronounce my name can be different from the way people pronounce it because it's my name. So Timothy Alamu. I'm from Mosho, and that's the weirdest part. I'm from Mosho. Not Lagos, not anywhere outside of Mosho. Wasn't born in Mosho, but grew up in Mosho. So lived how many years of my life in Mosho? 20, 23 years of my life in Mosho. In a town that Akure is only better by because it's a state capital. That's the only reason why Akure is better than Mosho. So if you see Akure, you know Mosho already. So imagine growing up there for 23 years. Yeah, so I'm a designer. I pick up design in my 300 level, 200 level, it's 200 level, last semester of 200 level. And I've seen a lot of strikes. I've had enough of this system. So now we'll be firstborn of this weird system. You know. So picked up design my second level second semester. Um, I've been designing since. I've dabbled into so many forms of design. I've done illustrations. I even did illustration recently. I've done. I've tried to do typography before. That didn't go too well. Done branding. Done UI UX before it became UI UX itself. For my brother because he was learning coding. Done motion. Done 3D. Done. We've done a lot. So then uh, finished school last year. That's right, I'm odd to say last year. You part of it, bro. I've skipped through. So finished school last year, architecture. Yeah, no, oh wow, architecture. Yeah, I didn't like it. I wanted to swap eventually at 300 level, but they said it was too late. That I have to go back to 200 level. So yeah, took architecture, um, not practicing anyway. But it doesn't mean I don't know how to do it, but I'm just not practicing. And the reason why I'm not practicing is because of the state of the industry itself. And also, I like to make quick money, and I don't see myself making quick money there. That was so. Then I currently work as a brand and motion designer at Fossey. You know, not married, but I'm in this relationship. I have to do that too. Do I have to? Do I have to do that?
Well, it's good that you did it too because your baby feel dey watch. Or she fit see the recording. And you know, people might also
Shout
be
out.
watching and they're like, ah, this guy is
I'm
sharp.
shouting out.
Ah, let
All right. What else? Well, I'm a Christian, a serious Christian. It's not church based. Christian, serious. Uh,
serious
what else?
relationship, serious Christian.
In I think already. Yeah. Aside that, the rest is I enjoy good thoughts and good laughs. As long as I don't make a joke of me. Actually, it doesn't matter if I make jokes of me. I don't know how to make my own jokes back. So yeah, I'm a cool person. So I think.
All right. This is exciting. This is exciting. And this is the first time I've sorry. I know you are an architect, but I did not even know that you studied. Sorry, I did not know you studied architecture. So I was thinking maybe you were
Mm,
like social law or
why?
what
Why?
because you know look like
What is?
architect. You get way architects they look like people they make I not talk am for here. But architects in Nigeria, you know, they have a certain aura around them, and let me use that word. And you didn't carry that aura. So you started designing 200 level, and from your story, you dabbled into a lot of things, a lot of things. Uh, so I think my first question would be, why did you stay? Why did you stay with design?
Hmm. To be honest, or just for the camera. To be honest, I'm not sure I have any other option. Like literally, what else do I want to do? I keep asking myself, if I'm not a designer, what would that be really? You know. But I guess my answer came before the entire design itself. So in secondary school, right? In secondary school, I knew one thing for sure. I'm not going to be a suitor type person. Never. It's not going to happen. It's it's something that I knew was not going to happen. So I had an idea. Okay, this is what I want to look like. One, I have this paint in my head. In my head, I'm on t-shirts. I'm on a shorts. Right? I wear shorts and then a pants pants. And then I work from home. And then when I was to go out, I enter my truck and I go out. So obviously, I have to look for a work that fits that. Obviously, a work that allows me to work at home. A work that allows me to work at home and get to wear whatever I want to wear and go anywhere I want to go. You know. So I said, okay, what are the likely works? Obviously, it's not going to be medicine. Never had medicine in my mind. Engineering, I wanted to do engineering, mechanical engineering to be precise. But they told me maths was part of it. I don't like maths. They put that on my side. You know, so I was like, the next thing, aside, I mean, the fact that I can draw, I used to draw, but now I don't like drawing. I used to draw. The only thing I can draw now is logo. Apart from that, I can't draw anything. But I have a friend that's now currently a painter. He's an artist, but we used to draw together. You know, these super strikers used to draw characters like
Yeah.
that. We used to draw characters like that. But so I said, you know, the next best thing because I'm in science class is architecture. Because I'm in science class, that's architecture. You know, but if I was in art class, I'd probably be a fine artist. But right now, I was in architecture, so I'm like, what is the best creative work? Architecture was the only one that came to mind, and I went for architecture. And I didn't even make up that mind until they asked me what course they want to. put in a jam on that spot. I was like, what other course? It's like architecture. So that's how we landed on architecture. Yeah. And from there, I met a friend, Tariq. You might know him, Tariq Fasasi, that helped me with design, and that was how I stumbled on
Okay.
design. So since then,
Okay.
it's like, it's like, it's not a question of okay, what would I mean, how did I? I can't remember what the question was, but it's more of the question that has been settled since, or it's probably how I found my way in that line in the first place. So I can't exactly leave. I can't. I'm stuck.
So the beautiful thing is that the conversation we had prior to this was actually the law of recognition. how that how that for a lot of people we are stuck in the rut of defining ourselves or finding or recognizing ourselves first. So and that if we solve that problem, it will help us navigate our lives. So and I think that's one thing you got early. So from your, I'm just assuming, if you know things, so you get them. So, but from what you said, so Alamu Temitayo was a boy, and he has already had his picture, and he said that, whoa, I know they wear suit, I know they wear tie. No, I want to understand something. Do you think that people that wear suit and tie they are poorly?
I think they are too serious. I am not a serious person. It's just that straightforward. Like, I'm not serious. What am I supposed to be wearing suit and tie for? Like, you know, shit. Like, what am I supposed to be wearing it for? Like, look at me. Look at me. Do I look like a suit and tie person? To be honest.
Well, you never know until you wear one. But how you take your final presentation?
I wore Guinea. Guinea. You want the picture? You know, I
Eh,
can send you a picture when we are done. I wore Guinea.
I send the picture. I know it's I go use and just send it first.
That's what I want for my final presentation. Just Guinea, man. Just native.
All
All
right.
native.
Okay. So for a designer or for a person who didn't like the serious life, the corporate life, uh, and again from your story, you said that you dabbled into a lot of things. So let me, for the sake of this call, let me emphasize that a lot of things is not illegal things. Alamu is a very good person. He's an upright person. You dey laugh. I like. You all correct me. Okay.
No.
So that we feel know whether I dey talk true or not. So he dabbled into a lot of things. So which means that let me tie it down to today's conversation. He tested a lot of systems. So systems are basically things that we give ourselves to um, towards a certain goal. Let me define it that way. I'll use an example of the digestive system. When you put food in your mouth, you do not dictate to your digestive system what it will do with the food. It already knows what to do, and um, it helps you process the food or whatever food it is. It knows what to do with it towards a predetermined end result. So, and that is what we'll be talking about today: how to adopt a functioning or a working system. So, for Alamu's final call was to stick with design. So, started and that's why we started with the question. Why did you end up with design? Why did you end up with design? So you didn't aside from the fact that you didn't want to wear a suit and a tie, and then you also wanted to be unserious for life. um so what else really, at the start of your um career, or at the start of your life as a designer, So one thing I'm very sure of is that design was not a popular thing then. And probably there was no tendency that you would make money from it. I don't know if you knew then, but now you're there, you're making bastard money. So let's just leave that aside. But what made you? So the first thing is what made you choose design? And you're like, oh, you're not a serious person, so you're looking for something that would um, allow you live in the picture of your childhood self, the guy that doesn't wear suit and tie and just sits in his house, work from home, and when he wants to go out, he enters his truck and just drives off to wherever. I have a feeling that it's from one American movie where the but let me just leave that aside. But so when you started, how was it? How was design when you started? Was it yeah? How was it when you started? Let me know. Let me know. Ask specific. So how was it when you started?
Well, so I'm going to answer the question in two scape. The landscape, I mean, like how was design when I started, and how was design for me when I started. I feel like two different questions.
Yeah.
But for me, it didn't start as design. I don't know. So let me just tell the story. So I knew how to play guitar, right? When at some point in my life I played guitar. I played the guitar when at some point I thought I was going to be a guitarist at some point also. You know. In fact, I've thought I was going to be a lot of things. I picked up basketball, thought I would be a pro basketball player. Then I stopped
Mm, mm.
because I knew it was too late. And you know how I knew it was too late? I saw Zach win the slam dunk contest at 19. So I'm like, I'm not 19. I'm not going to be a basketball player. So let's just put that aside. We'll put that aside. But about the guitar. So I knew how to play the guitar. Now, Pastor Tariq wanted to learn how to play the guitar. But he's someone that started using this app called Photoshop. He used Photoshop. And I've seen him talk about it. So he said to teach him guitar in exchange for learning how to use Photoshop. Yeah. So I didn't know
So
I definitely didn't know how to use Photoshop. I didn't even know Photoshop was a thing. I thought it was I didn't know what it was, but I've heard of Photoshop before, probably on the TV. But he said he would teach. Yeah. So I picked it up. I taught him guitar, I learned Photoshop. Yeah. And like I
mm,
said, it was during the longest strike I've ever been in my life. It was almost a year. Like very, very long strike. So we didn't have any choice. I just all of us were doing still what I'm doing daily, waking up, sleeping, and with our laptops watching movies. Um so picked up Photoshop. Yeah, I started doing this photo manipulation stuff. Then I remember I had this friend that used to do cartoon, and he had done it for big people, like P Square, like Files. And I'm like, maybe I should do that. So I did. Started doing cartoons. I did cartoons for a very long time. And for some reason, because of some technical difficulties in terms of the tools that I use, I couldn't do cartoon for a long. Then I stumbled on logo design. That was how I found logo design. So for me, it didn't exactly start like design. It started with let me play around with Photoshop. Then I discovered if I'm going to do logos, I have to learn Illustrator. Then I picked up Illustrator. I had to learn Illustrator to do logos. Started doing logos, things like that, things like that. Then I for some ridiculous reason I got myself on Fiverr, and that was where everything changed. Fiverr. I started doing. I mean, there's even before Naira went to shit. I mean, there's always been the interest in earning in dollar, like it or not. It's just nice to do that. Even before Naira became whatever it is now, earning dollars has always been a cool thing. It doesn't matter whether dollar flopped or dollar did not flop. Everybody wants to earn a dollar safely, you know. So that was how design started for me. And since then, it's been that picked up, discovered I wanted to do this. In fact, I started doing motion like around that time of Fiverr. I did a motion for like they will ask you, can you do motion? And I'm like, of course I can. And I have that kind of outlook. When someone asks, "Can you do this?" I'm always like, "Duh, I can't." And the meaning of "duh" is I'm just going to learn it. Like it's not that hard. I'll just learn it because I've had to learn, I've had to learn several things within minutes, and I'm like, how hard can it be? The only things that I've decided never to learn is that I've not learned, that I've never said, "Well, I'll learn," is product design, and it's because I'm trying not to look down on product design. Anything other than that, but if you ask me if I've done this before, I'll tell you no. But it's not hard, really, And that's why I picked up 3D too. But in terms of how design was, the landscape from, when I was just starting up, it was actually non-existent per se. For a while, I assumed I was the only one that was doing design. Don't laugh. I just assumed that I was the only one doing design in my corner. And I was because I've spent time looking for other designers like me, Instagram in Nigeria because I could see others in the abroad. I guess we have shitty brand over here, but I was looking for people like me, and I didn't find people like me until I went for Portruge in Ibadan, when Fort Kaba came, and I met people like me, I met Praise too. That was how I knew, okay, there's actually an industry that is just booming, and the industry was way different from what it is now. Like, it's way different. Every time I look at my Twitter feed, it's way different from what it used to be before. We used to talk about design and stuff. So back then, design didn't start as design, you know, but it just started as, let's do photo manipulation, let's make, let's put somebody's head on another person's head, that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's the story.
So that's rather exciting. So let me just put this out there. When I heard Tariq, I was thinking it was the guy that was on Twitter space that was dissing Nigerians. But
I think
when
that's
you when you now
no,
further
no.
explain, I'm like, okay, it's not the same Tariq. I'm like, that guy. I will just end this call like this. So two things I have like one question from what you said. But before then, I know I was on. I think this was when Victor and Osaritin were on Pisitimi's podcast, and Osaritin was talking about how he started as a designer. That then design for him was, or what he knew was design was all these people that used to do banner. So, but we never actually talk about it that design has actually existed in Nigeria because we are seeing banner. There will always be campaign banner. Churches have banner,
Mm,
but we just know that there's banner. But we didn't know it was. We didn't know it was something design or it was design related. Like just to, so we'll go and do banner. So banner was related with printing. So and
mm.
printing is not design. It's not just sit in our head that okay, the people that will design
In
it, they
fact,
have to design it before they print it.
my mom even put up Corel Draw when I was little. So I didn't even know it was a thing. Like she picked up
Your
Corel
mother.
Draw, she would design. Yeah, my mom. Like she once picked up Corel Draw, and then she'll be designing. I remember she would be trying to design business cards to match. Like the teacher would give her, "Oh, this is a business card. Design it to look like it exactly." But it didn't click that, oh, that was design. But we knew she was using Corel Draw. Corel Draw was a big thing back then, and she was trying to learn it. Maybe she should have made a good graphic designer. You never can tell if she had chased it fully.
Yeah.
Sha.
No, she was busy. She was busy catering for Temitayo. All right. Um. So one thing I noticed that for everything you adopted um along the way, it was more like a function of necessity. You picked up Illustrator because you wanted to now begin doing logo design. So it was more a form of necessity. So if I want to put it in very very wise words term, like sage mood type of talk, I'll be like, the systems you adopted were a product of your necessities and the things that you needed to solve in life. But don't worry, I'll not put it. I'll not put it like that. But so one question I want to ask, and this I got this from your basketball illustration. So is time a factor to consider when choosing systems or when adopting functional systems? So because obviously basketballing was something that you could have made a life out of, and every other thing along the way that you tested. But is time a factor to consider when choosing functional systems or when adopting working systems?
I think that's a yes or no question. Like, I mean, yes and no question. I mean, depends on who is adopting the system, to be honest. Okay, if we're going to look at me, for example, obviously time was a factor, right? Now, time is still a factor because uh, I have a, I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just doing it. I have a timeline for my, I want to blow in a certain timeline. I want to blow. Yeah, I don't
But
want to wait
you
till I'm
don't blow
40.
now.
I don't want to wait till I'm 40 before I blow. You get so if we are going to pick up something, let us make it fast, you know. But yeah, time is it depends on who we are talking about to begin with. If you are the kind of person that is looking for something quick, obviously the kind of system you pick up is way different from my own. I probably did not um, understand fully when I first started. Yeah, these things come with time. They try to come with time. If you begin to pick up something, right? You picked up something today. I'll, or me, if I pick up something today, I'm always drawn to thinking, oh, I should be this by the end of the year. Bro, I mean, it doesn't always work that way eventually. And then it puts you into a spiral of, of incompetency, kind of like, oh, I cannot be this, oh, I'm not here yet because honestly, for something to work in this time, and even if you say you want to do, God forbid, Yahoo, it still needs time. You know, it will still need its time. It's just time that will be different. You know? So it depends on who is looking for the time, what their goal is. You know, uh, because that's what like you said, picked up so I mean, a system to solve life issues. You know, that's my goal. But also at the side, I was looking for something that I can make a life out of. You know? So that was why guitar didn't work. Anyway, I wouldn't know because my guitar spoiled, so I didn't pick it up after. And it was that time that I found design, so I didn't have the interest of picking it up after. You know, then I stopped playing basketball also. So maybe if I had gone, maybe I would have been playing basketball. But you never can tell really. So, but time is a factor. It is, but it's dependent on who exactly is speaking, is entering the system and is learning new things and things like that. It's really dependent on who it is.
Okay, okay. I think that makes sense. It's time being dependent um on the person. So now you know where your seed is paying you. Sorry. Ah, ah, I wanted to drop one very deep Ijinle quote, but I'll pass. I'll pass. But yeah, yeah, right. It's time is really really an important factor, but and it's also dependent on who is adopting whatever system he chooses to adopt. But another perspective you can look at it is the fact that every learning or being learning or picking up a skill or submitting to a system would still involve you um giving it time. So you can't like so just like you said that you pick this skill up this January and like in December I want to already be working for Google. I want to be the one that will so no, I'm serious. I've heard ridiculous so okay, it might not be ridiculous to them, but outrageous ambitions and goals. They're like, so if I learn this thing now, when can I start making 500K?
Making
Or when
money.
can I start making, yeah, when can I start making money? Like if I learn this thing now. So will I make money next month if I learn this thing now? I'm like, what? It's,
Depends
it
on the
depends.
universe whether
It
they pick
depends
it
on
or we.
you, and it depends on every other factor around you. But
And I think
so what are like, yeah.
I think it discourages people from. It's one of the reasons why people don't end up learning things. I've had probably maybe not now any longer, but in the past, like, oh, I want to pick up this thing. When will I start making money? Bro, I'm not even making money, bro. That is saying, and it's kind of a slippery slope. Trying to trying to focus. I'm not saying don't look for the money, look at the big bag, please. But the end product, if it's as money, if you're trying to make a sustainable career, it's going to take some time. It's going to take a long time too. So, uh, I don't even know how to advise. I don't even always know how to advise people. Always, it's just like you said, depends on you. Depends on whether the universe aligned for you to at the same time. You never can. If you just pick them up like 1 month, I already watch at Google because you have an uncle at Google. You never can tell. You really can't. So, but at least start first. See how it goes.
Oh, voilà. So, so one final set of questions. This is related to drawing up your own playbook in that sense. Because so one thing I've come to realize is that um, what works for you would definitely not work for me. Sorry, might not work for me. Let me not say definitely, but might not work for me. So what were like the steps you took towards should I put it how will I put it now? Towards not fully copying someone else, even though the person inspires you.
Mm, mm. Steps not to copy. Let me see. I'm trying to remember when I was trying to copy someone. I see. All right. So, well, I'll probably be talking from some recent. So based on experience, like based on what I've experienced, I kind of understand that there's something that exists and it's called foundation. There's always this foundation on which things are built on. Like it or not, everybody has big walls. They have bricks to build. So I think the brick will be the foundation. Yeah. But how we end up using it is what differs. How we end up using it. Now, I can't remember a specific example, but I've tried to copy. Yeah. But the thing that I end up happening eventually after trying to copy is you end up doing your own thing. I don't know how to explain that, but one way or the other, yourself takes over. Yeah. Except if you are not conscious, you are not self-aware of who you are to begin with. Because I think that's also a big matter. Okay, take for example, I just started learning keyboard uh, for the fun of it. So I understand one thing. I've learned guitar before. I've learned how to play the guitar. And there is a foundation for learning how to play a musical instrument. One is learning the music theory, yes. Then the other thing is learning the theory of the instrument itself, and then you can have it from there, right? Now, if, for example, the person that is teaching you started learning the, the instrument without the theory, it's possible that people can learn the instrument without the theory. But if I start talking about some theory, they'll be like, it, things like talking about talking about keys in do re mi fa so. I don't know how to talk about keys, but I know how to talk about them in their letters because that's how I learned it. You get, but they are the same, but they don't mean the same. It's just the music theory. Yeah. So if you end up trying to copy the person, I feel you end up coming back to your own self eventually. You make a full circle, and then you come back to yourself and be like, this is where I am. I mean, this is where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. Um, Practical step, in terms of practical steps, well, I think the first thing is know who you are in the first place and how things work for you. Literally, like, this is how I do my thing. In school, I know for sure that reading works for me. I have to read over and over. The I'm not the photographic kind of person. Photographic memory where you pick up book for 30 minutes, I read it, and it's already stuck in my head. For some people, it's cramming. On the day of the exam, that's when they start cramming. It's your problem, not my own. So you have to be very, very aware, very, very conscious of how things work with you. Right? Um, of course, if I start picking up something, let's say, oh, want to adopt this way of doing something, for me, it might take 3 months and I'll get it done. For some people, it takes a week. It's like you, for example, when you are explaining your routine, I'm like, no, this cannot work for me. This cannot work for me. It will never work for me. It can never work for me. I have tried it. It don't work. So when I see all these YouTube videos, oh, sleep, I started sleeping like 4 a.m. and I woke up 6 o'clock. And I just look at it, I'm like, that will never work for me. I've tried it. Let's just push it aside, you know. But it's just coming to terms with who you are. Like, that's like the foundation of it all. This is who I am. This is the kind of person I am. Because eventually, if you try everything, you end up coming back to who you are eventually. What works will work. What will not work will not work. But of course, looking at people who try to copy them gives you inspiration. It's just like design. You look at design works, just to be inspired. Because the more you see, the more exposure you get. The more you have more data to analyze how things work for you. Because when you see people do it this way, do it this way, then you can, okay, the population of this divided by this, which is the median. I mean, is that median or mean? I think that's mean. The mean is my own, mathematics. Like, I, like,
You
add
know,
everything
busy, you go ask mass question.
add everything together, divide by you, and then you have your answer. I think in the end, that's what the practical step is. It's just one. I only mentioned just one. Probably is more. I don't know. I feel
Yeah, so
that
I think this is that's a very like very salient point. It's a very salient point. So I have one last question before I open the floor to anyone who has questions. Um, this is the question. So in like the next 2 years, where do you see yourself? Where do you want to be?
must be outside this country. Fair enough. Oh my God.
Gosh. Okay.
That's too
I
straightforward.
did not. I did not expect that one. I did not expect it. I did not expect it.
Okay, in next years, I don't have big expectations for myself. Sha. You know, a lot of people have expectations of me. I don't have like humongous ones. I think even with myself, I don't be able to surmount those in that time. I don't know. Never can tell. But one of them is it's doing something that matters eventually, like having a proper impact. Uh, Maybe in terms of the lives, people's lives. Because I have a couple of people. I don't know why they. I don't know why people even approach me to even begin with. Like, oh, I want you to teach me this. Oh, can you practice? Like, you found your own. Though. Because I'm bringing it, but at the same time, I'm trying to be impactful in people's life. Also, impactful in business too. Like, uh, I have a probably do a design for a company that ends up blowing through the design. It's a dream for me. One day I will do it. I will do a design like and the entire Nigeria will be like, oh my god, oh my god, all that kind of stuff. So, so yeah, I have that in mind. Like, I really do. I do. So it's something for me. Uh also, out of stuff, please let's add that to in case you have my visa in your hands, please. I need it. Thank you. And because no one can tell. Yeah, but I really the when I see myself, big things, right? Big things, dream big things.
No problem, no problem. Yeah, so it's time. Does anyone have question from the audience? Anybody? I know it's as though Kate had issues with her network. She has coming in and going out. Does anyone have questions for Alabu? Any question in general for uh I know today's conversation did not like tell you did not like say, oh, number one, write this down. Number two, write this down. But yes, but that's like the whole point. Being able to sift the lessons out of the conversations. And I hope you were able to do that because this was actually a very, very insightful conversation. But as usual, you can wait for my notes. Can wait for my notes. If eventually I have just publish all of them on Medium one by one with the topic of each conversation. But as usual, you can wait for my notes. So who has questions? Bumi, Kate, Silva, Toluwase, and the other Toluwase, and third Toluwase. Because this the conversation was recorded. I will join with all the devices that we have. They brought light to, they now took the light. And if I say let me go to my co-working space, na road I for the do this call.
Mm, yeah. We shall record.
Yeah. He got. If he cut now, it still we don't get the best part of the conversation. So no question from the audience.
Well, nobody will put me on the hot seat.
Ah, so okay. So yeah, you mentioned traveling now. Where you want to go?
Anybody that's not Nigeria and it's not Africa.
But Ghana is good though. But it's Africa.
They don't really like us, you know.
No, na South Africa no really like
It's
us.
you know the funny thing is Nigerians throw bans, right? But they and we don't take it serious. But the entire world throws bans at us and they take it serious. So they don't like us. Ghanaians throw they just throw they try throw bans. And I'm like, all people are not taking this thing serious. Nigerians are not serious people. They're not they're just not serious people.
Well, we know. See, when our country send na banter, you don't expect us to be taking banter serious. Oh, we just move on. We have better things to think about than to be thinking about what you said about us. We don't move on. We are trying to find life. We move on.
I mean, we've had a lot of shit thrown, honestly, a lot recently, in recent years, a lot.
Doesn't from our president's speech on international TV to what else? It's plenty, sir.
We
But you
talk about
can't
Shatta
you can't.
Whiteley in recent times. I talk about Tariq in recent times.
Uh, well, you can't. You can't get to us. We are. Oh, Sylvia, you have a question. Please, by all means,
Yeah.
speak.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
I
morning, Sylvia.
kind of have like question for Alamu, or probably you too. I'm not in the tech space. It's something I would like to, do, but yeah, I'm just not there yet. But then the question I have for Alamu, I run a business, and I also have one or two things to do. But then I find myself not being able to meet targets based on the things I do, and it's kind of like a struggle for me because I see myself doing good with this. Okay, so especially in social media advertising. I'm very good on WhatsApp, but then Instagram and Twitter space, I really do not know how to, put out my product and brand there, and it's more like a struggle. So I want to ask Alamu, thanks that one. I want to ask him how well I can manage my time, more like time management, to effectively achieve this, like the goal that I have, how to start up with time management and all.
Tolu, I saw that question is for you. I was swearing on my, I was swearing on my life it's for you. Let's say better time manager than I will ever be.
So Alamu is very unserious with his time, but he happens to find out how to do everything that he needs to do in time. So that's his own. I don't know how he does it, but that he does it. But for time management, there's no there's no general formula. It's just like Alamu say, it starts with you. So figure out what works for you. Me, I have alarms that ring specific time of the day, and when the alarm just ring, I just stand up and go and do what I need to do. But this morning now, this morning now, I know all the alarms are rang. I just woke up off it and continue sleeping till it was 7:30. 7:30 was the alarm to write my regular email. So I stood up. That one I stood up for it. Why would that wake up by this time? Or pass. Wake up by this time, pass. But so there are some things that you prioritize,
Okay.
and those things would determine um how well you manage your time. So your priority so give time to things that are a priority for you. Like just give them time. So every other thing in your life should revolve around the things that are a priority for you. Do you get? So
Mm-hmm.
if it's the fact that you want to understand your customers more, and that means that you have to be on okay, you want to know how to use Instagram analytics and understand social media more, you're killing it on WhatsApp, then it means that you're killing it on WhatsApp. Yes, good. It means that WhatsApp is something that you might have already cracked. So continue what you are doing on WhatsApp, definitely, while you give more time to learning and understanding how Instagram works. So since it's now what is at the forefront of what you want to do, and all of this is towards, or all of this should be towards a certain goal. Why am I spending 8 plus hours reading articles on what that talks about Instagram, that talks about customer trends, that talks about consumer trends, that talks about how to use Instagram analytics to uh, all of that, plenty things. And then it depends. Again, it's all on you. But there are the basic things that are set in stone for time management is that there's nothing set in stone for time management. It's it's what does Silva prioritize? What is important to her? So you have to clearly define that. Everything cannot have the same importance in your life. It's not possible. It will mean that you have to divide yourself like 700 pieces to get all of the things that you put equal importance to. So even people do not have the same priority level in your life. Um, things, events, programs, uh, chats, calls, all of them should not have the same priority level in your life. There are some people that if I see their missed call, I will not call them back till like maybe in the next day. People, if I see their missed call, immediately I'll pick up the phone and call them, or I'll send them a text message that, hey, how far? I missed your call. What's happening? But that's because I love everybody. Yes, you are all important to me, but you don't have the same priority part time in my life. So that's it. So if I wake up in the morning and I have to write my email, at that point, if my laptop is dead, you can just see me. I just carry my bag. I'm going to where I'm going to write email because it's important to me and it's a practice I must do to keep my consistency going. So give time to what you prioritize. Every other thing will settle in. And if every other thing that is supposed to settle in should improve, okay, let me put it this way: every other thing that should settle in should either improve your focus on that thing that you have prioritized, or there can be should I call it things that you do to take a break, because that thing that you prioritize, it would eventually be what your life would revolve around. So the question would be, Sylvia, what do you prioritize? Is it your business? Is it your family? Is it relationship? Is it God? So whatever you prioritize, that is the thing that will define how you manage your time. So that's the thing you spend most of your time doing. Do you get?
And to also
Did I
add,
answer your question?
uh,
Okay, yeah,
to
Alamu.
also add, priorities, is the bread and butter of the entire talk. And to use myself as case study. So when I was going to learn how to use, in fact, speaking of learning to use social media, when I was going to end up picking Twitter, I used to be very, very vibrant on, oh my God, I used to be vibrant on Instagram. I wonder what happened to my life. Uh, very, very good on Instagram, but now I'm just on Twitter. Yeah, and I'm not sure. Well, when it comes to social media, it's kind of it's a straight thing. You need to keep you engaged on social media. I didn't start using Twitter until I stumbled onto Country G, where I met people like me. You know, I think the goals for social media, I mean, to be more specific about that question, is to find people that are like you, right? That dish out the same kind of things that you're looking for. That's what keeps you engaged eventually. Because if we are seeing things that don't interest us on Twitter, then we are not going to be engaged. It's just that simple, right? But
Or
that's
you, or you become interested in the things that are happening on Twitter.
or now speaking about priority, using me as case study. Um, when I was still learning, I mean, I'm still learning, but I won't lie to anybody. It's not like before. Before, you always catch me watching one long webinar on YouTube after another long webinar. Like when you are, I have a long list of like webinars, playlists that I'm supposed to watch on YouTube, you know. And now priority has changed. What I watch on YouTube is things that will just calm me down, things that will cool my head. It might be sports, sport analysis, might be rants, sport rants, someone like Urinity Tree, someone like Steven Howson talked about Manchester United, or watching Crew, or watching tech reviews, just chill because half of my day is spent working. At that point, priority has changed from trying to get work or trying to get money mostly into me trying to learn something into having a stable mental health because you can run crazy at this rate. So priority is a thing. I mean, what you give priority for changes over time, And if it's your business, then obviously, there are some things you have to learn when it comes to business, customers, financials, branding, things like that. And if you know these things exist, learning is not exactly fun. It's not always fun. You start getting it, you know.
It's
Uh,
never fun.
well, if you start getting it, it's fun. I can promise you. Play keyboard yesterday, for example. Yesterday I was playing this five note scale. I was playing 5 note scale. I was trying to do the sorry, I was trying to do two different things with my fingers. Play one slower, play one faster, like a note slower than play that one. And the entire thing scattered. No matter how many tries, so I left, came back, and I got it, and I enjoyed it. So sometimes you get it. When you get it is when you start enjoying it. So when you start, the truth is it's never that fun, because there's so many things you have to take into context, so many things all at once. And you start looking for what does this mean, what does that mean, what does this mean, and personally, probably because it's me, I probably enjoy figuring out things. I'm more inquisitive than I'm supposed to be. It's a problem on its own. If you check my Google search, you find weird things that just weird things that I'm searching about, and I'm watching also on YouTube. So just put it in mind that this thing is not going to be easy. In fact, nothing is easy eventually. Nothing is ever easy. Even to be lazy, it's hard to be lazy because you're telling your mind, I want to do something, and you're fighting constant battle, but at the same time, you have to win a battle to be lazy. And you have to win a battle to not to be lazy. So, uh, priority, yeah. So just take it that um, this isn't going to be straightforward. It will take time, but I promise you, when you do it over and over, it clicks. You enjoy it, just enjoy it, and then the thing is just flow from there. So yeah, and that would be my own take. It's not as glamorous as Tolu shares, so but hey,
I
we
beg
take
you.
it.
But Sylvia, did we answer your question?
Yes, yes.
All
Do
right.
what even if I do get anything, but I take back home will be to give time to what I prioritize, and then irrespective of how hard the process might seem or what it is that I have to do together, I just still need to do everything to getting or achieving that which I prioritize. Thank you.
All right now. Glad we could help, Sylvia. But definitely, if you have any more questions, you can shoot Alamu with it, and you can shoot me with it. I would say we'll do our best to provide answers around business, tech. You said you were interested in tech. Yeah, you can still do it. I don't think.
I feel I'm too old for it already. My
Oh,
brain might not take it. Okay, so I just do this quick designs on Canva. I actually like design, sure, but I don't know. I don't think that's where God wants me to be.
well, if I would speak for God, whether you learn it or you don't learn it, you are still going to be old.
Okay.
True. Word.
So
Word.
so
Eventually.
if it's what you want to do, so design is something that every designer knows this. If they don't know it, then it means they are not designers. You continue learning till the day you drop your mouse
Your
pad or
house.
your trackpad or you drop your pen. It's not, you continue learning. So if you start now, I bet you that you continue learning. But the fun thing is that you now begin to earn money while you are learning and doing what you enjoy doing. That is just
Okay.
the difference. And in reality, you might get to a point where you don't want to actively design anymore. I don't know if Alamu is nearing that point. Well,
Yes, I am
where
hearing
you don't
that
want to
voice.
actively where
I'm
you don't want
actively
to
living at
actively
that
design
point.
anymore. But you but it's something that would happen, and when you get there, you also know that it's a phase that you are crossing into. So everything is in phases, and you should learn to recognize a phase and just move on. Me, I've reached the point. I've not how many years have I been designing, but I don't want to design actively again. I just want to be supervising designs and putting in, yeah, okay, that's great, and then drawing up strategies for that designers will go and implement and break their backs on. Great. But if you want to learn design, it's something you can do. Alamu has a whole community of people that can help you learn in given 3 months. So in 3 months you learn and you have a solid basis to build upon for the next 3 months, and then you repeat the cycle for the next 3 months. And who knows? Who knows? I didn't start designing. So immediately I started designing, I was fortunate enough to join a company where I could practice and ruin their social media page with my ugly design while earning money, and they were grateful for it because they did not know how to design in their company too. So, so no, those type of places will always exist. Places where you can practice. It can be sometimes it can be your own social media page where you just practice and put it out there. What that does is that you consistently be creating. So if you are consistently creating, it means that at a point in time your mind you'd have exhausted all the bad creations in your mind, and what will be left will be very, very dope ass creations.
I still
Sure.
have bad questions. I'll tell you that one.
Yeah, yeah, you get bad creation, they finish, but you get place where you go reduce. They finish, so bad creation they finish, but let's not go into that part. I know
Yeah,
people that
that
they can
remind,
never finish a
that
bad
remind me
design
of
again.
yesterday. I did bad design literally. To me, I did the bad design. So two logos,
And
yeah.
so now,
One
if you
that me
put
I
them on
like,
Twitter now, they're gonna hear you.
one that I liked, one that me I liked, and one that I didn't like. Yeah. And to me, it was the second was a terrible design. Really, for some reason, that was the logo they went with, and I'm here sitting there like, I just you just let this thing go. That's a terrible thing to do, bro. The bad design, I still have bad designs, but it depends on who you start looking.
Yeah, it depends on who's looking.
Depends on
So
who you start
Silva,
looking.
I would encourage you to, if it's something you really want to do, by all means,
Okay.
by all means. All right, guys, thank you so much for showing up. Alamu, thank you so much. It's
Thank
been an
you.
amazing time with you. Um, when I'm in Lagos, you send me money, send me money. So let me just put it out there. Send me money.
All right,
Um,
send your
it's
account
it's
number.
it is sad. Ah, thank you,
Wait,
sir.
can I send my account number too? It should be a general giveaway something for everybody.
Yeah, giveaway. Yeah, giveaway is coming. Giveaway is coming. Sylvia, which state are you in? Oh, sorry, which country are you in?
In Nigeria, Oshobo
What
to be
state in it?
precise.
Yeah, in Oshobo.
Osun
Oh,
State.
Oshobo is not far. Oshobo is not far from Akure.
Hmm.
Okay. There's a giveaway,
It's
but it's
foul.
for it's for
Yeah,
it's
it's
for a
foul.
physical event. It's for a physical event in Akure that's coming up in April. So,
Okay.
and you happen to have won the giveaway because you requested. So, hit me up on Twitter or Instagram or anywhere, or send an email back to my email that sent an email to you.
Okay.
Uh, and we'll talk about the intricacies of your giveaway.
Still not intricacies.
You got details there
Okay.
to the giveaway. Terms and conditions apply.
Really? Okay. No problem.
All right, everyone. It's past 11. Have an amazing and productive Saturday. Sorry, and productive Saturday. Alamu go
I'm
still
going to
work.
sleep, Abba. I'm going to sleep. Hey, I have work. Sorry, I can't sleep.
I talk am. All right, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Alamu, thank you. Thank you so much.
Voila. You will come and give me 1 million naira like that.
How,
Endorsement.
how do you feel?
Who? Me?
Eh,
It's therapeutic. Honestly.
it was therapeutic, Abi. Hold on, no. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. You see, it's not hot seat. I purposely do not want to be putting myself and people on hot seats. I just want it to be very, very conducive conversation where we just continue talking
Environment.
as if nothing is actually. Yeah, yeah. No, Allah.
It's
I get,
therapeutic.
I get, I get another engagement by 12. Make I go
Oh, yeah,
find
no.
back. I go send my account number. I serious. And my,
Don't,
my
don't
salary
worry,
will
slow
enter.
down.
My salary will enter. I don't finish. I don't go pay for my Google Workspace. You don't finish like that. And no, all right now. Bye bye.
Bye.